1-minute warning. Good afternoon. The time is 1 o'clock, and I'd like to call this special board meeting of the Board of Directors together. And can you join me in standing in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to start with a roll call. I'm Janine Grippo. I think most of you know me. We'll start down here, and then we'll head over to our presenters table.
Sean Kreiderman, Director.
Larry Santora, Director.
Sherry Groupie, Secretary.
Brad Nickham, Treasurer.
Chuck Hill, Vice President.
Matt Gambick, Director.
Charlie Shawless, Recorder.
Alan Lambert, Director of Food and Beverage.
Liz Lawson, Lifestyle Director.
Darren Shaw, COO.
Michelle Pendleton, Marketing Director.
Justin Brett-Sandroff, Creative Marketing Strategist.
Bill McGinn, Director of Operations, all-around good guy.
Thank you, everyone. The sole purpose of this special meeting is to have a presentation of the proposed furniture selections for the Mountain View Clubhouse, and I'm turning it over to Darren.
So welcome, everyone. I'm Darren, your Chief Operating Officer. We had to turn the boards back and the teams back to everybody so you could see the big screen today because there'll be quite a bit of detail shown up there. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. I just wanted to make a few comments. Then we'll run through a PowerPoint slide deck on how we got from point A to point B, and then we'll invite our interior design professional up to go through her presentation, and then we'll open it for member comments and questions. So this is the Mountain View Refresh Phase 2 project. This project has been in development for almost 3 years. So 3 years ago, they started discussions on what it was going to take to renovate the Mountain View Clubhouse. And for one reason or another, the project stalled quite a few times along the way, but it was resurrected here earlier in the year. And on August 26, 2025, the board approved Phase 1 of a two-phase project. That budget approval was $378,000. And that work's underway now, the painting and the flooring and the hearing loop and the restrooms, all that's scheduled to be done probably by early January. And we'll provide just a summary of how that's going as part of the presentation. So today we're focused on Phase 2, the interior furnishings, which includes more than 400 individual items. Following the approval of Phase 1, an internal staff team was formed to begin work on Phase 2. And this is a team that we selected and put together to get the ball rolling on the furnishing part of this renovation project. The objective was to place furniture orders in Q4, right about now, and receive deliveries in Q1 2026, so we can complete the project maybe by the end of Q1 2026, about 90%. All the things we're talking about today cover about 90% of all the furnishings and decor in the clubhouse. There's still some artwork and some minor purchases that need to be made to finish the project, but you're looking at a 90% completion rate if this work is approved today. We believe that the process is complete, and that's what we're presenting today. We recognize that everyone has unique preferences and styles. To ensure quality and balance in design, we worked with industry experts experienced in the club environment. First with 180 Design, and now with Real Food, a Troon-owned company. So with our relationship with Troon, that opened up a door to invite in another set of professionals, particularly one that you'll meet later today. Later in the presentation, I'll introduce the design professional we've partnered with and placed our trust in. As part of this project, we plan to reuse select existing furniture where practical. For example, 10 tables from the restaurant that are in really good condition that were previously in the Mesquite have been moved up to the Catalina room. The Teal restaurant chairs will also return to the Catalina room. That's where they came from. 12 42-inch tables from the restaurant in good condition will be relocated to the Saguaro and Cactus rooms. And we'll also reuse 34 copper table bases to round out the furniture that we intend to keep. As you will see in this presentation, a great deal of thought and effort has gone into it, the process, and it's our goal to get it right. With that in mind, let's move on to today's program. So, I'm just going to take this mic. I'll turn my back to you guys a little bit too. So continuing our multi-year modernization to elevate Mountain View experience, it's the final phase, furnishing and finishing the refreshed clubhouse. Why? It meets residents' expectations, preserves asset value, and enhances daily use and appeal. I think everyone will agree. The execution plan managed by our internal team with strong vendor reliability, Troon buying, partnering with Real Food Designs to deliver a cohesive and modern interior. What to consider? Resident satisfaction trends, avoiding higher future costs if deferred, and long-term community payoff. So why the refresh matters? In 2023, in the community survey that we're repeating right now, Mountain View was flagged as a priority improvement. 48% described the clubhouse as dated or not inviting. Ranked high in importance and low satisfaction was a clear mandate to act. That's what started this process on the Mountain View refresh. Modern spaces enhance resident satisfaction and community image. Upgraded aesthetics drive resale value and event rental revenue as well. And you can see this is the breakdown of how that survey ranked things of importance and things that the members thought we needed to spend some time on, the clubhouse being one of them. Next slide. So the journey to today. Project launched 3 years ago with 180 Design for initial concepts. Transitioned in-house for cost control and project efficiencies. So early this year, we decided to move away from 180 Design because we thought that it was becoming cost concerning. And we developed our internal team and then made contact with Troon and then eventually Real Food. So we transitioned in-house, and we've been working on this project since the August 26th approval of Phase 1. And now we're here today to see if we can get board approval for the furnishing. So you can see painting Phase 1, August through September, that's been complete. The bathrooms underway, the 2 small ones, should be complete by 3rd week in November. The hearing loop, Area 51, I think that's been delayed now. Bill, when is it? November, December? Next 2 weeks, that's going in. And then the furnishings, November 25th through January 26th, we order, and then we get it in January 2026. I think that's aggressive, but certainly our goal is first quarter to get all this stuff in and installed. Estimated completion date, it says January, but we'll be happy if we get Q1 2026. Next slide. So this is just a little bit review. The bathrooms that we are working on now, the reserve fund allocated $135,600. The interior painting, $66,000 was approved. Flooring budget, $252,000. That's for the dance floor as well as all of the flooring in the restaurant, except for the entry tile and the bar area tile. So total allocations in the reserve fund that were available was $415,000. The budget that we presented to the board and the board approved with a 10% contingency came in at about, I had that number. It came in about $30,000 or $40,000 less than what was allocated in the reserve. And that's an important part of this presentation to remember when we get a little bit later into some of the numbers that we're going to be looking at for the furniture purchasing. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, here again, painting, ballrooms, meeting hallways, restaurant, bathrooms, furnishing. This is our schedule. Revenue and continuity, restaurant service relocates into the East Ballroom during flooring. Minimal disruption to dining revenue. Events accommodated by planned room swaps, downtime minimized. Liz and Alan have been doing a good job trying to move things around. It's inconvenient, but we're going to make it work. And when it's done, I think everybody will be happy. Critical path, bathrooms finished by January 15th. Furnishings ordered November. That's our hope. And finish January. Paint complete before flooring. Dependencies tracked daily to keep all phases on schedule. So the elements in phase one are pretty much on schedule. I'm not aware of any concerns in terms of budget or timing. Contingency and controls, 10% budget contingency, vendor supply chain monitor with contingency resequencing, same-day change control for issues, the team's working very close together, and built-in flexibility accounts for vendor shifts, delays, supply chain. We've built a pretty good schedule that allows for a few hiccups along the way. Roles and cadence. Internal project team coordinates vendors. We've been doing this internally. Daily stand-ups during active weeks, weekly reporting to the board. Single point of accountability for decisions. Real Foods, Arizona representative quality insurance, and True buying power and their vendor discounts that were made available. Next slide. So shifting the furnishings. We created the in-house team. Real Food Senior Project Design Manager was connected to us, who you'll meet later. Several meetings were held on site to virtually align on furnishing selections. We have spent hundreds of hours of staff time and design time trying to put this presentation together. It's been the bane of our existence the last couple months, trying to get it right. Via Troon's partnerships, we established a relationship with Real Food Design. In that relationship, I believe we saved about $45,000 to $75,000 in markup fees that we would otherwise have to pay to another furniture provider. Normal markups can be 25 to 35%, and you'll see that Troon's procurement fee for the whole package is just 10% of the resale value or the retail value of the package. Let's go to the next slide. Resident-driven, cost-conscious. You know, one of the first things we did was go out with a survey. You know, when we started talking about this project, some people wanted high backs, low backs, no arms, so arms. Some people wanted benches, some people wanted long benches. So we went out with a survey, and we got pretty good response to that survey. And of the people that responded, 161 of them wanted standard chairs, no arms. 38% of them, or 222, wanted chairs with arms. There were 98 that said they wanted chairs with wheels, and there were 162 people, almost 30%, that said they wanted booze. So I think there was a diverse response to those questions we asked. So we're trying to put a little bit of everything into this refresh project. Next slide, please. So why furnishings complete the transformation? It turns a refreshed building into a welcoming, functional clubhouse ready for daily use and events. Delivers a visible return on years of investment and resident patience. Avoids rising costs and design inconsistency, ensuring project cohesion and confidence in delivery. And you can see how some of those costs might increase if we wait and delay and defer the project. Let's go to the next slide. Smart, cost-efficient investment with long-term return on investment. Vendor discounts and true pricing cut 25 to 30% versus external estimates. Sustainable materials and in-house management extend furniture life 15 plus years. Increased total seat count by 8%, could increase potential revenue. High-end durability at mid-market costs through direct vendor sourcing. Funding now avoids potential increased tariffs and delivery inflation, 8 to 12%, and keeps the project on schedule. We're ready to go, and I think now's the time to make a decision on this project. Our per seat cost matches premium benchmarks, but total spending is below market due to vendor sourcing and in-house management. I think the items that you'll see as part of this presentation are top tier furnishings, and our designer will explain that to you. So current spend, 23-25, $318,000 is what we need to do this project. And then projected savings, no replacement needed, avoids maybe $100,000 in reinvestment, 26 through 35. Let's go to the next slide. Final funding requests $318 to complete the vision. Total cost of the project, phase 1 and phase 2, $732,000. And you can see the breakdown there on the right. And the pie chart reflects the money that we're putting into each of the locations within the clubhouse complex. Next slide, please. Final funding needed, $318. Real Food Designs proposal, $290 for 402 pieces of furnishings, plus $26,000 for their procurement fee. Available funding, we have $297 in meeting room allocations in the 2025 reserve fund. So in this year's reserve fund, $290,000 exists and is allocated for furniture replacement in this clubhouse complex and the Catalina room. We want to take money from 2027 and accelerate that because that money's scheduled for the meeting rooms in this clubhouse. Why they scheduled it that way, some of the furnishings this year and some of the furnishings two years later, I don't know, but it makes sense to do the whole project in one fell swoop. So the board will have to approve the acceleration. But as I mentioned earlier, when we put together phase 1, we saved about $35,000 or $40,000. So the money I'm asking the board to transfer up from 27, we saved in that phase 1 bid process. Additional funds are needed, $20,000, which can be drawn from the reserve fund balance. I talked about some of the repurposing of tables and some of the things that we're going to be keeping. Funding the project now prevents 2026 price escalations and delivers ROI and resale value, event rentals, and resident satisfaction. It just gives us a boost. Let's go to the next slide. So we're going to talk about our designer, and you can read that slide there, but I'd like to read something too. So our designer, bear with me just a second. Gulistan Duran, referred to as Guli. She's a senior design project manager at Troon, where she oversees design projects for the company's private clubs. She is currently leading work at Star Pass, La Paloma, and Phoenix Country Club in Arizona. With 19 years of design experience, Guli brings both creative depth and global perspective to her role. Before joining Troon, she served as a global design director for several New York-based firms, managing high-end hospitality and restaurant projects across Europe and Asia. Her background is uniquely multidisciplinary. In addition to her design expertise, she holds degrees in chemistry, creative writing, and a master's in product design and sustainability, completed in Singapore. Originally from Turkey, Guli grew up as the daughter of a chef and even owned her own restaurant in Soho before returning to her design roots. Her work has earned 2 national awards, and one of her shared space designs was featured in Interior Design magazine as one of the best in its category. Having recently located from New York to Arizona, Guli brings her extensive international experience and passion for thoughtful, sustainable design to Troon's projects throughout the Southwest. Join me in welcoming Guli to the stage.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much. My name is Guli. It's Guli, and thank you for the introduction, and thank you for being here and taking your time. So, yes.
Excuse me. This is a senior crowd. You need to put that microphone in front of you.
How is that? Okay. Yes. Oh my God, thank you so much. Hoş bulduk. Okay, somebody knows Turkish. I love that. So the accent is going to be Turkish, and if I mumble something, please stop me and ask what the hell I said. So, so let's start the presentation. If we can go to the next slide. So these are some examples actually as strewn that we did in other clubs. Some of them I gave some advices to our junior designers. Some of them I have some inputs and some of them are not. We just wanted to give you these examples to explain how much we can actually change a club and how we can handle the changes and differences. So let's look at the next one. Yeah, I think we have 4 of them. Yeah, this one is one of them that I gave some advices to. And we're still working on changing more in these clubs. And then let's go to the other one. Yeah, that was also kind of a big change with the colors and the shapes and the forms. We were able to, uplift this club. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, and then there's this one. It's a large space with high ceilings. We were able to play around with some colors. I don't know this club exactly, but we do have it in our portfolio. So let's go see. Okay. So the first time I came to, first of all, this club came to me as a coincidence. So this wasn't my club. It was another designer working on it. And then she decided to get married, I don't know why. And then they said, Guli, can you please handle this? And I came over here, and your team ended up liking me. And I was like, damn it, I should have been meaner to them. So I am now responsible for your club. And then this was what was given to me when I took it over. The carpets were selected, and then we had some surface already that is existing in your club. But here's the thing. These pictures and images are not exactly showing the colors, so I had to come over here, visit your club, see the club, and take some samples with me so that I can go ahead and match all the samples and make sure that tones, colors, everything matching, which I care a lot about. Let's go to the next one. This is what I see when I see your club. Your club is natural. It has movement. It is always some movement going on, and it needs some curves. But this is the main idea and look and feel that I always see, especially when I look at your newly picked carpet and the structure of your whole club. Let's go to the next one. And from that, this is what I drive. So taking all these colors and then putting it into some sort of a palette that is going to give me this natural feeling, but at the same time, it's going to give me a facelift. And I'll tell you exactly where these things go, and then you're going to see them one by one. Let's go to the next one. Okay, now let's look at the floor plan. I have taken the floor plan from the previous designers, and then I have revised it about 15 times, I guess, to understand what is going to be the best setup for you. So when we are looking at the setup in design, I always think about the first area when you walk into your lobby. So when I visited your club, and when I walked into your lobby, all right, I'll be very straightforward, it was boring, and it did not feel inviting. And everything was scattered, and it was not a good transitional space. So it needs to be a good transitional space. Some people were eating, some people were playing games, some people were, sleeping, I guess. So I wanted to make sure that this club, when you walk in, it is going to be something that you're proud of. Because let's face it, it's a golf club, and it's your second home. And when I'm designing, I always think about the psychology of the visitors and the guests. When you come here with your friends and your family, I want to make sure that you're proud of something. And then you can come sit over here before you move into the dining area or into the ballrooms and guest rooms. Darren, were you going to say something? Darren? Okay. And then I looked at your bar area. I work with Alan on this one to see how the movement is, how people are moving. I also visited your club 4 times now, so if you see me around, watching you guys, how you move, how you're eating, and I was the one that's watching you, and I'm sorry if I made any of you comfortable. I just wanted to see how you live in this club. And so we put this high bar community seating close to the bar area. So there is a little bit more movement going on over there to define the actually floor plan. And then we wanted to create these 4-seaters in front of it in case you want to have, 2 couples having, am I not? Oh, I have a tool. Aha, okay. So, and then we wanted to have these areas right here to be defining in the bar, and then make sure that we move this crowd, actually away from this crowd a little bit. And then let's come to your main area. We're going to talk about your main dining room area, and then let's go to the private. And in private area, we changed the tables, and then you're going to be seeing the furniture selection once I presented those. And then we changed and we added more outdoor patio furniture right over here. And then we have the front patio furniture, which are different, which are definitely upgraded, and which are a lot more natural and modern. And I'm very excited about the selection that I made. After so many of them, trust me, there has been a lot of work that have gone into it. And then, and I'll exactly tell you why I like every selection. So let's look at your main dining room. Your main dining room, as of right now, and I'm sure all of you know, when you get in, it feels like a cafeteria, right? There is one type of seating, maybe 2 round tables and some rectangular tables. In my opinion, designing a lot of restaurants and high-end lobbies, this is kind of, again, not optimum, because when you walk into a restaurant, you would want to pick your seat. You would want to understand. You would want to say, okay, I want to sit on a rectangular table. Okay, I want to sit with my group on a more circular table, and I want to sit on a booth. And the booth seating, we added the booth seating because we wanted to create something different. We wanted to define the spaces, and we wanted to make sure that you're having an experience rather than just sitting around and just, eating your dinner or your lunch or breakfast. And I'll explain why we did it this way. So if you look at the bottom part right here, I aligned all the booths along the window, because as of right now, you have chairs and tables, and they are not really working. Because every time you pull a chair, you push a chair, you're actually hitting the glass, or it just does not look attractive, and it's not functional, and I cannot fit enough people when I put just the chairs and the tables along the window. And along the sides, if you look at it, I align these just to make sure all of your space is used perfectly and efficiently. Now, I have seen some floor plans that was done with U-shaped booths, right? I personally do not like U-shaped booths because it's not easy to get in and out. It's difficult if you're sliding, it's kind of confusing, and edge of the tables usually kind of hits your stomach. It's not really very useful and efficient. So I like these face-to-face booths, and they're a lot more functional, easy to get in. You can squeeze in. You can sit 6 people actually in these 2 booths in one of the set. And you can have definitely a better group of people, facing and talking. I placed 2 in the middle. In previous versions of this floor plan, they placed U-shaped booths, and then they placed it looking at the other table, which I wouldn't like as an experience. I do not want to sit down and look at someone's eyes that is not on my table, right? So that's why the facing and the changes and the sides, why they're this way, is done with a mathematical thinking. So in this matrix of the floor plan, I made sure that all the operational part is going to be easy. I try to use the grid system to make sure that people move in and out easily and the traffic is much better. And then I realized, and I actually talked to Nick, I believe, your restaurant manager, and then I talked to Alan. I saw that you have usually 2 large tables, that sometimes ladies and gentlemen sit side by side in bigger tables, and then I gave other options over here for you to choose and pick. So one thing I do when I'm designing a restaurant, I make sure that you have variety of seatings. You can pick and choose. I can easily put, which I think in your previous floor plans what happened, rectangular, rectangular, rectangular. It ends up becoming boring, and it's not enough people, and you cannot fit enough people over here. So let's move to the next slide. So I actually created this page so that you guys, when you are reviewing it, you can understand why I did it this way. So this kind of explanation, we can go to the next one. Now let's talk about the numbers. Start with the lobby. You're actually about 22 to 24. I said 22 to 24 because I really don't know how many people you can sit. If you are feeling friendly, you can sit 5 if you want in each booth. But it's for now, I just calculated as 3. And then we are having the bar seating right over here, in total 48 seats. In the front patio, we have 36. Dining area is 128, and the side patio is 156. I'm out of battery with my laser. Okay, anybody has an extra laser? Yeah. Now I have a red one. Okay, perfect. And then in the private dining, we have 36. So we definitely increased the seating capacity from lobby 14 to 22. Although I was told that it's 14, I am not sure. I don't think it's 14 as of right now. It's less than that. And then the main dining room, we actually from 122 to 130. Bar and patio from 24, actually side one. The front one is going to be 24 to 32, and the side one is 50 to 56. So we have increased your seating by making sure your movement, your operations, your experience is elevated as well. So let's go to the next one. Now let's talk about chairs. So I'm excited about the selection, and I made the chair selections, and I was telling your team, oh my God, I found you guys amazing furniture for a few reasons. So when I'm looking at a furniture, I look at it from 5 different perspectives. I think it's the science background that I have. I need to see how it's made. I need to see what the style is. I need to see where this is coming from, who is having it, and how long it's going to last, the maintenance and everything. So we have seen about 12 to 15 chairs for this project in total. And why is it 15 to 10 to 15? Because as Troon, we have about 100 vendors. And with vendors, we have really good relationships, right? The vendors gives us great prices, and then we start selecting it according to the club. However, your budget that was given to me was $275. For 400 items, what I did, the first thing I did, which a designer usually doesn't do, I sat down, broke down this 400 to 2,000, 75,000, and then I came up with $600 per item, which means this is going to be your sofas, this is going to be your chairs, this is going to be your tables. It wasn't enough. And if I were to get you something as in the seating, I'll tell you the brackets. Brackets are basically, for the lower end, you get about $300 to $400 for a chair. And a mid-size, you're getting about $400 to $500. And then when you're going into mid-high, $500 to $800. From $800 to $1,200 is your highest, which is we are talking about, I'm sure some of you know the brands, it's called Bernhard and all these furnitures, then we are talking about 1200s. I am designing, like for example, in StarPass, we are using one that is about 1500s with the customization. So when I get you a chair that to fit to your budget, that is $300 to $400, you get an off-the-rack chair. Basically, you cannot customize, and they are not going to be easy to maintain. They are not contract furniture, semi-contract, and they are going to definitely die less than 15 years. So what I did is, we have one vendor I usually use for very niche projects. Like, I don't use them for low budget projects, but I went to them. I said, look, I really, really like this club, and I know they need a lot of chairs, and I want to make a good selection, and I want to make sure that we are not giving them some chairs that are going to be just the next club has. And next club has chairs that with, handles in the back, and off the rack, and the colors are not matching, it's not uplifted. Anyways, so they asked me what my budget is, and I told them, and they laughed at me. They were like, no, that we are not going to give you those chairs. But I had my eye on this chair, Ava K. This is one of the most sought after chairs actually in Europe right now. The good thing about this company is that they buy their own wood, and then they cure it for 12 months. And then they turn it into a chair, and I can customize it. And I was able to get these chairs. I'm sure you're going to have some sort of a Excel sheet. I was able to get these chairs customizable, $460. I need a clap here, because they were like 880 before. So we were able to, they didn't want to give it, but I threatened them that Trun will never work with them again. So so we were able to get these. And I'll tell you about why I love this chair so much a little bit. If you have any questions and more information you need, I can absolutely tell you. In chair selections, what we have is an ergonomic design. And when you're working with an inexperienced designer, they just look at the budget, they look at the colors, and then they give you something that they think is okay. I look at the angle of the seat, which needs to be 60 degrees for your body to feel comfortable. I look at the angle of the seat that is comparing to the back. I look at the curve. So the quality and the comfort of the chair actually depends on many different things. But these are first things that I look at. And also the technical parts. And I can absolutely talk to you about technical parts. Please ask me if you have any questions. I would be actually very happy to talk to you. And at the back of this, some of the chairs that you were recommended before had just a fabric back. And the fabric back, what happens is that if you see it, the more you pull this chair out, the more your fingers have grease, lotion, or anything like that. Over the years, you're going to end up having a lot of fingerprints. So I want to think about really the maintenance and the long-term usage of these items, right? This actually makes it easier. And I didn't want to have something with a handle, just like the seats that you're having right now, the ones with the handle. I'm not really a fan of those, and they were, in the old days, were very, I think, out there. But anyways, I want to bring it a little bit more modern look with a quality and a comfort. Let's look at the second slide. Okay. So this one is showing you from the side angle, front, back, and then everything. Now, when I look at your survey, some of the members wanted armless, some of the members wanted with the arm. I do not prefer armless because arm brings you some sort of a comfort. However, the question is how much arm? Sometimes you end up having these chairs with tuxedo back where you sit like a crab, and nobody eats like a crab, trust me, in any restaurant. And sometimes you have such heavy arms that you feel like you're boxed in. What I like about this chair is that it has very classic lines, but it has very nice curves. And if you see the sides, this chair is like a piece of art. I really like how they are done with the style and the form. I mean, I worked as a product designer. I did a lot of furniture design. That's why I appreciate this a lot more than I think many designers would appreciate. So let's look at the next one. Now, this is also another chair from the same company. That's a European company. when I was talking to some of the people to do this project, especially the designers before, I think they selected the same chair as the dining room and the living room, like everything was the same chair. I said, no, 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 we need to have some sort of a variation in this club. And I wanted to have these chairs to be sitting a little bit more straight, but I wanted to curve back. So when you're sitting over there, when you're playing games, when you're having a meeting, I wanted to make sure that you're kind of more supported, you're more hugged when you're sitting, and the arm height is perfect for the tables that we are going to be getting it for you. It slides right underneath. I love the details of the finials and how dressed this looks. The meeting rooms needed to have a little bit of a dressy look, but not being super heavy. What you have right now, what you have right now is very heavy and it's very flat. And I actually made fun. I told Darren they look like torture chairs because I don't know, they're heavy and flat back. So we are changing that, and they are actually, I wish you have seen them around in the States a lot more. These guys are very comfortable. Let's go to the next slide. And these are your community chairs in around the bar area. It's coming from the same line, beautiful sliding arms. And then you have a really nice back, open back. That's for the operational uses. Like, it's easy to clean, it's easy to maintain. And I always like this bar. Some stools actually forget to put these. And then this is a lot more useful for you to sit down. So let's go to the next one. Now, these are the color palettes. I put these on knowing that you're not gonna get the exact idea. That's why I have this over here. I have the real samples, real tones. Your carpets were not easy. They had 7 different tones, but I was able to match them exactly to the tones that you're having. Because if I were to go with, let's say, orange all of a sudden, or let's say green all of a sudden, you already have a very big visual out there as a carpet. Visually, the biggest item you have is carpets. And your carpet is deep blue in one side, and then very earthy on the other side, and very blue on the other side. I love the carpets, don't get me wrong. They are Villican. I love the quality of those carpets too. But matching to them, especially with the budget that I'm going to work with and get the customization. And I wanted to make sure that your fabrics are contract grade fabrics. There are about 100,000 double, I'm sure you know double rubs and everything in a fabric, right? So it's the maintenance of the fabric, how much it's going to go over the years. But I can always give you what that means as well if you have any questions on those as well. Let's go to the next one. So in these slides, I specifically showed where I am using what so that nobody has any confusion. I found this fabric, it's picking up from your carpet beautifully, but it's not overwhelming. And then I'm going to put it on the back, and you're going to see the same mentality for all the chairs, actually. I'm putting fabric back, and I'm putting vinyl seat, and I'm giving you cool ash, walnut color because it goes really well with your presentation and your concept altogether. These are just for the counts to keep me sane. Let's go to the next one. And these are for the bar seating. In the bar area, although you have like browns and little blues in the carpet, you do also have this green. And I wanted to bring that green a little bit forward because once you transition from the lobby area, this is like adventure. Like, you come in, your lobby is copper blue and beautiful earthy tones. You go into the more green area, and you have a lot more natural feeling, and you go into the more of a bluish room. So right now, as of right now, your club is all blend. Like, every color is everywhere. So I want to define and redefine what you have. All right, let's go to the next one. Same thing, you're going to love this fabric. This fabric is also from Europe. That's kind of a vinyl, and please go see it. I have 2 samples, 2 different colors. I want you to tell me which one you would like. And they are, oh my God, amazing, amazing vinyls that are woven. All right, let's go to the next one. And these are for your meeting rooms. In your meeting rooms, you have very specific blue and then variation of blues, and then you have, although it looks like light gray, but all the silvery, purplish lines. I'm very good with colors. I did so many color theories, so I wanted to pick up those hues from those, and this is what I came up with. And please see the samples. Please review them. You're going to be able to understand how mid-tone they are, how mid-color they are, and it's not easy fabric to find. When I got your project, I ordered about 250 different fabrics and 127 different vinyls to be able to catch these colors. So let's go to the next one. Now let's talk about the edge of the tables. One of the things that I heard as a complaint that the ratio, height ratio of your chair to your table are not right. That's why everybody's bringing their own pillow, I guess, and there are so many pillows going on. So I wanted to make sure that the tabletop, first of all, visually does not look bulky. A lot of people, I don't know why, use this 90-degree. I can understand why, because they want to put the tables together, and then they want to create a perfect, rectangle if they need to. But you can do it in a very stylish way as well. So we are going with this 45-degree angle, and then a little bit of a flat in the front so that they can put this together. And then visually, the table looks very light. And when your ratio, when you're sitting to your table, is actually right now. And because the standard seat is usually between 7 to 18 inches, and your tabletop is 30. And in between, that's the whole comfort that you get. But if you are not reaching that, there are a few reasons. Your chair is probably getting out of shape. The foam inside is dying. The angle of the chair is not good, or the tabletop is too thick. So I'm showing you all these details for you to understand how much thinking and detail it went to this project. In 2 weeks, I did not sleep well. So let's go to the next one. And these are for some counts to show what we are going to be doing. It's on the slide so that you can keep it in your records, but there is one thing that I want to show you here. In the table bottoms, although I am giving you 2 for the large tables in here and 3 for the 60-inch round tables, you're getting about 5 pieces because we are repurposing a lot of your bases to save from, be more cost-effective. But in the bottom, I also told the vendor, I want this 45-degree angle in the plate because when I am sitting and when I put my feet on the plate, I do not like that when they have this 90-degree angle. This is not comfortable. So this is when I am designing restaurants, the details that I look at, just to make sure your experience in every inch of that table, chair, and everything is nicely done and you feel comfortable. Let's go to the next one. Now, let's look at the lobby seating. So in the lobby area, the first thing we are doing is this, kind of more of a visually hugging semicircle booth. That is, we use that a lot visually in many different resorts and hotels. When I was designing hotels in Asia, what we do is, in the lobby part, we would love if the lobby has high ceilings and so we can show the structure, right? But we want the furniture to be calm. We want the furniture to be flowing, to be having curves. But we don't want too much curves, especially your club. We don't want this whimsical look like Salvador Dali. We want good enough, gracious curves without overwhelming the whole lobby area. So let's look at the next slide. So I'm going to show you. And these are the color scheme that I recommend, and I'll tell you why. You have a big blue screens right next to the fireplace, right? In color theory, color psychology, blue and orangish colors are always attractive. That's why a lot of companies use blue and orange together as their logo. And they feel comfortable psychologically. But I didn't want to just slap the blue, the orange out there. I wanted to get something a little bit more earth tones and then a little bit more welcoming. Let's go to the next slide. I love the lobby furniture. So these are 8 feet semicircle sofas. And it's kind of self-explanatory. You have the fabric and then the finish at the bottom. I love these chairs. These are 8-inch chairs. Can we go one slide back? Back. One more? Okay. So 8-inch chairs, I'll tell you these 8-inch chairs. These are 2 chairs right over here that is right next to the fireplace. Because one thing that I realized in your club is that you don't have one area where you can just pick up your coffee, get a phone call, and I do that a lot in my other private clubs, somewhere private. Like, maybe I just want to go to the side and just talk to someone and say hi or whatever. Or maybe I'm going to grab someone and gossip a little bit for 15 minutes. Something like that that I wanted to have in this club, and you don't have it. And these are the 8-inch chairs, very light visual and very beautiful, sleek design. And I'm going to talk about lapis, which are those chairs. And then we're going to talk about the sofas. Let's go to lapis chairs. Lapis chairs are this. I didn't add any arms onto this. I wanted to make sure that there are no arms because I cannot talk. These 2 chairs are going to be right next to each other. When you are getting out of this, I didn't want you to be stuck in that area, right? And this is going to be a lot more comfortable when it comes to that type of 4 seating together. Your sofa, again, have curves and then a 1 long seating. So if you realize what I did in here, I have everything tight back and mostly tight seat. There is a reason for that, tight back and tight seat. In commercial areas, in hospitality, we do not want to have too many cushions and puffing and fixing and all that. The moment I start putting any type of back cushions, it's going to start looking very run down because nobody's going to, get up and puff the chairs or anything like that. We use that a lot. It is a great thing for maintenance over the years. And every time you get into the club, your lobby looks new. Nothing is out of shape. Let's go to the next one. Am I boring? Did he sleep? Okay. So these are and then we get the tables. So I got a drum table. This is a solid wood in between these. And then I wanted to, again, follow the same round oval idea between these chairs and these sofas. And this little chair gets this cute little plate that you can actually put your coffee cups in and everything. So let's go to the next one, outdoor. So in your outdoor furniture, I went a little different than what you have right now. What you have is a lot of metal, plastic, and they are kind of outdated, and they're not exactly comfortable either. I love this company. This is called Florida Seating. And what they did is, and one thing I learned in Arizona, which I didn't know in my whole 19-year career, teak doesn't work for you guys. It's so funny. Teak, because of the Arizona weather, and teak is known to be one of the strongest wood, but it doesn't work here. So instead, what they created is faux teak to still get that feeling of the natural, but without having it split or going gray over the years. And I made sure that we are getting 36 by 36 for the outdoor for easy travel and much better usage and efficiency. And these chairs, I have used it in La Paloma, actually. They are extremely comfortable. And it's a nice size, nice height, nice weight. And it gives you a biophilic feeling. I don't know if you're familiar with that term. Biophilia is a natural design feeling. So it's kind of in your DNA that we always crave for something natural, always curvy, and then it's a science, so it has this biophilic quality to it. I'm guessing this is my last slide. Let me see. Yes, and my long name and long title. Any questions now?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I have a few questions about the chairs.
Sure.
The chairs, let's start with the stools that are going to be in the
bar area.
Okay. It's hard to tell from a picture how sturdy they are and how tip proof they might be. So if you compare them to the stools we had before at the bar, or the bar stools we have, what's the likelihood someone's going to tip off of those, tip backwards or anything? Is it tip proof? I'm worried about safety.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. The company is already that I'm working with is a contract furniture. So contract furniture and residential furniture and your restaurant furniture is a whole different thing, right? So in the contract furniture, they always think about these type of details. So if we can go back to do a stool, I'm gonna show you an angle in the stool. Back.
We have those rounds now with 4 stools. Is it about the equal amount of risk to those?
So you see this stool has a little bit of a tapered back. These are the reasons that these guys are doing it that way. The moment you're having very straight or like very flattered one, if you have big tapered legs, Janine, you're gonna, first of all, not gonna be able to fit enough people and you're gonna be always hitting each other. Have you been at a bar like where you're moving the stool and then you're all of a sudden your legs are kind of tangled to the next person? So if you wanna eliminate that, that's one thing. But tilting part, I don't know if you had it, I never had it in my design. It's like, I will not have my stools tilted. They're pretty safe actually. Yes, Brad. Hi.
A lot of information to absorb, but you've obviously put a lot of thought into it. What can you tell us about the width from inside to inside on the arms on most of the chairs? I love the lines of everything you've shown. We have a lot of people that don't have 32-inch waists here. So that's my concern.
I love that. Okay.
That's what I was going to ask, because I was going to say, when my 285-pound brother-in-law wants to sit on those chairs, how sturdy are they, and is he going to fit in there?
Yeah. So when you're looking at those chairs, that usually side to side, we're talking about in standards, about 18 to 22 inches. Front to back, we're talking about 21 to 23 inches. I love that you're asking those technical questions because I love technicality of everything. So these chairs are actually a little wider than the standard, which is a good thing. And the reason that I like these chairs, they are armless with an arm. So if you get a chair with an arm, when you sit on it and your brother, who's 275 pounds, is going to be kind of molded in it. He's going to be like, yeah, exactly, just like Larry is showing. It's going to be just like that. And the arms on those chairs, can we go back to the chair? Yes. Arm on those chairs, if you look at the sides, we have this beautiful big openings, and it's a big opening in the back. So if you have a little bit of a bigger back, you're gonna be covered. I mean, I cannot get all the chairs big. Then I'm gonna be, impacting my capacity. But these are chairs with arms, kind of without arms, if that makes sense.
One more on a table. The dining room tables, or even the meeting room tables, is the width between the legs going to allow a wheelchair to pull in close enough to the table?
We are using pedestals. So we are using pedestal middle, the pedestal table legs. They're not like 4 legs in any of them. I don't like 4 legs. I don't like 4 legs in my house. I don't like 4 legs in any hospitality, because how many times we hit our knees and bruise ourselves. Forget about the anything that's visual-wise, but that, in my opinion, is not a useful way to go or efficient way to go when you're putting a table in a restaurant. So everything is going to be pedestal. So ADA part is not even a problem. And just to let you know, and thank you so much for talking about the ADA and wheelchairs, because the first time I looked at the floor plan that was presented to you, I looked at it and I was like, can a wheelchair fit in here in between? It doesn't seem like, because although I'm 34 waist, I was like moving it like this, right? It's not really comfortable, and it's not up to the standards. So that's why when we were doing the floor plan, we wanted to make sure that you guys can move around easily, and when the chairs are pulled, the wheelchairs can move around easily as well. We need to think about those. Yes, Brett?
The wall, the window wall in the main dining room where the booths essentially go to the side of the window, there's a lot of sun that comes through that glass in the afternoons. How does the interaction with those auto shades and the booth work? Has that been thought through?
Okay. So when I decided to talk about put those booths right there, I actually told Darren and the team, guys, you have this glass over here, and no matter if you're sitting on a table or a booth, when I'm walking by, seeing those legs, that view, everything is not nice. And plus, I can see that they're half the time down, right? So I said, why don't we put some sort of a film up to the waist so that we can have your logo, that mountain logo, that is, I think you have someone for that decal, right, that you can put, and then we can redesign that. And then for the shades, they will have to be there unless we change the orientation of the building, right? So they unfortunately are there, and we can, in your next stage, I'm hoping you have a next stage and you invite me more. I love this club. We are gonna change, hopefully, that shades and to a little bit more modernized version of it. However, for now, I would recommend you to put the solar films. That will actually cool down that area, and it's not expensive. We can solve this problem easily. Yes?
Yeah, just a question about the tables. A lot of the people here, you know, as we get to where we can't sit down or get upright, will grab onto the table to help themselves up, especially if they're in a booth. Are those tables sturdy enough to take the weight of a person trying to pull themselves up without tipping or causing a problem?
I love that you have that question too. The tabletop that I am presenting and giving you is not just a regular tabletop. I'm so proud of it. And it's also from Europe. What we use in restaurant design or club design, and most of the time, I think that what makes me a little different than other designers, most of the time they use poplar or laminated top type of tabletops, right? I can understand that's for some maintenance reasons and stuff like that. But the one that I'm using, it's called a composite. Those are big in Europe, composite top. And the material inside of it is thicker and stronger than the wood. So because how we are laying those legs, like for example in your booth, you have two legs. In the middle, that is a pedestal. And I understand your point, you need to press down and get up, right? That's one of the reasons chairs without arms don't work. I do not want people to be trying to, tackle with the table and try to get up, but to your question, yes, those are very sturdy, durable tabletops. It's actually different than many clubs have that you're gonna be having.
Yeah, but what about the legs? It's not Sorry, it's not necessarily about the sturdiness of the surface. It's also the pedestal down below. So I guess to answer Larry's question totally, what's the foundation underneath the tabletop for the booth?
It's two pedestals.
It's the pedestal. So the pedestal is selected this way. If you have a 40-inch table, you have a certain size. You work with the vendor on this one, right? If you have a 60-inch table, however, your radius is a different pedestal. So I think that's your question. So when you push down from the side, how is it supported underneath, right? If is it gonna tilt? If along the years it's going to be useful? If that's the question, correct? So yeah, that is why, the kitchen part of that selection is that if you go to the 60-inch round top slide, you're gonna have 3-column legs, which supports more than 40 inches because it's more appropriate. So I also thought about that side of it too. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to press something and then, tilt. Yes.
Sean.
Sean.
Lilihanam.
Yes.
Go way back, Rick or whoever's running that, go way back to the beginning. I've got a question about the layout.
Sure.
The chairs are great. Okay, okay, stop right there. We have Cinco de Mayo, which we celebrate with great fun here at Zephyr
Yeah,
2. Are my mariachi kids going to be able to stand there and play, Mr. Allen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's what I needed to know. Well, the mariachi band kids, when they come for Cinco de Mayo, where are they going to stand? Well, Alan has assured me that there's enough space because we're not going to have that. Tell me.
Gluestone's designed this floor plan to leave that upper area that can allow bands, piano, mariachi.
Okay, and the booths along here, if you had 6 skinny people, they could fit in there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more comfortable with 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought about not only 6 skinny people, but I thought about you and your grandparents, not grandparents, but grandkids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is sitting in between, right? I wanted to make sure that this is more family friendly, because right now it is not. Like, you can have people with you and create a community. And I see that those 6-seaters, 8-seaters are high in demand in your restaurant, and you don't have enough. And I wanted to make sure when I'm creating this floor plan, which one is working? Okay. When I'm creating this floor plan, this is all fluid. You can move around, you can take something out, you can push them aside. And this distance between this and that, you can actually run 2 wheelchairs if you want to. And because I don't want anybody, this is part of the experience, I mean, from my dad's restaurants that I have seen so many times. When a server is walking and a wheelchair walking, or you yourself walking, I don't want you to bump into each other.
Okay.
I want you to be comfortable.
I'm good with that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome. Questions? Sherry, now you ask. Okay.
Great job. You're an excellent presenter. Lots of work done in 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. I have a lot of sleepless nights and drank a lot of wine. So here we go.
I have a couple questions. Some of them are kind of minor, but under the dining area, you have listed 38 booths and then the 19 by 36 tabletops twice. Is that a typo?
No, 38 single booths, like 1, 2. This is one set is 2.
Okay.
So that is actually 19 of them.
There's 19
set
booths with 2 aside.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And this number, by the way, is taken. I'm sitting only 2 people in each booth, so 4 people to a set.
Okay.
So this may be higher.
So you've got, I'm trying to understand, a booth, people on each side and a tabletop in between them.
Yes.
If you've got 38 sides, don't you only have 19 tables?
19 tables, yes.
Right, but she's got 38
booths.
So that I figured it was probably a typo, but I was hoping to save money on 19 tables.
Okay, so 38 booths is basically, let's take one of these as a love seat, right?
Right.
So I have 38 love seats.
Right.
And then 19, because when we divide it to 2, 19 tabletops in between.
Okay.
Yeah?
That's
And then I have 2 of them in here. That is a typo,
Okay.
if that's what you want to
That's what I thought. I was hoping maybe you priced them and we could back
No, your team tried that so many times. Let me tell you, they keep calling me and saying, is this a typo? And I'm like, no, that's not a typo. That's the count. Any questions in here from you guys? I'm sorry I've been turning my back to you, or are you enjoying the show? We are going to charge. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Sherry has questions. I'm sorry.
I have a lot of questions. I'm a question person.
Sure, absolutely.
Can you tell me on the different, if you can go to the picture with all the different pedestals?
Sure.
I know we're reusing a lot of what we have, which is yay. Can you tell me which ones are going where? We've got 36 brass bases.
Sure.
Where are those going to be used, et cetera?
Can we go to the table bases? Those were a lot of calculations, and I'm glad you're asking them, Sherry, because that was a lot of Excel sheets that was behind. This way. Yeah, go, 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 go. This, yes. So these are not your bases, obviously. Right. I found them online, similar. So we are using actually 12 of them in one of your meeting rooms. We are using 22 of them that you have, and then we have 12 of the tables that you have black bases that are also going into the meeting room. So with that, we have 46 bases that we are using from you, right?
If you would like the exact 12 table bases, the copper table bases will go into the Sonoran room. The black bases that are currently in the dining room, they're going to go into the cactus and the saguaro.
Okay. All right.
So for the 40-inch square tables, I'm basically not getting any bases for you. Like you already have bases for every 40-inch square table. You're repurposing them in your club. You have it.
Right, but in the restaurant, all of the tables on the very light scale tables, are they all then going to be the blocky wood bases?
There is additional copper bases, so any four-top that's in the dining room will have a copper base.
Okay.
Yeah. We want to be also consistent with the design. I don't want to just have copper base from one side and then black base from another side, right? So we group them together with Ellen in a way that visually it makes sense, and we are repurposing enough that we don't, get enough of them. However, I have these, you see these 3 count of 60 inches round for 6 people. By the way, I put them 6 people, but 60 inches round can take 8 people if you guys want to. And 72-inch round, I have 2 of them. So you're going to get this. This is to your question, Brad. You see these 3-column legs, the pedestal one with a 45-degree angle in the bottom. You're going to be having those ones underneath in the middle. And then we have the 36 inches square tables that is going to be going to your sonoram, and then this is going to be only 3. I think you have those, right, Ellen? I believe you have those. Yeah, no, you're not going to have those tables, but if this was a single one, you would have that, but you're not going to have those. And those are the booth ones, by the way. I think Larry asked me the question for the booths when you're getting up. This is how you're going to be supported. You have 2 pedestals, 2 columns. That's right in the middle. And you have only 60 inches booth table anyways. And then you have good enough coverage for the balance. Sherry, back to you.
Okay. So none of the not brass, but copper, whatever they are, none of those will be in the dining room except under the 40-inch tables.
There's 5 four-tops in there that'll have brass.
5 four-tops. And the other round tables are not a 4-top that with flip-ups. They're a solid 60-inch or 72.
Exactly. Then they would get the new ones.
Okay. I know you guys change the layout on that by the hour, it seems, depending on the group size. And I'm a little concerned about this being as flexible as what you have now, where you can do 4 tops, you can do 6, you can do round, you can move them. And that seems to have worked well for our group sizes just go all over the place.
With Ghouli's design here, the flexibility is already built into her design. That's why there's additional large tabletops, and then there's a mid-size 6-top. So there should be a whole lot less moving tables around, which will help with keeping the flooring cleaner and nicer because it's already built into the design. That was the thought behind it, anyways.
Okay. And I'm assuming that the table bases will be the same wood tone as the tops.
Yeah, so that was also another good point. Thank you. I forgot about actually telling you guys this. The company, when they were working with a lower end vendors, they were going to get the tabletops different from the chairs. So what we do as designers is that, okay, we're going to match the, the warm walnut to the cooler walnut kind of thing. But this company is going to able to get probably 90% close to the tabletop, to the leg, and to the chair, which is the most challenging part. Yeah.
Let's see here. I have many changes.
Oh, great.
Sorry,
she
Dan.
has a list of questions. I love it. Okay.
In the bar area, that one of the challenges, and that we hear from residents, and this may have been passed on to you, I'm not sure, is we don't really have a bar area per se. We've got the bar with the chairs on it, but not really that kind of clubby bar feeling, which I know we've attempted to get a little bit more of in the lobby. I was thinking smaller groups of tables versus a couch with a fireplace, ding, ding, ding. There just seems to be a little match maybe between the round and then the rectangular, and
There's no rectangle.
I was hoping for more clusters, but that's me.
Where is the rectangular area?
In the lobby area, we have sometimes there's 2 people, sometimes there are 4,
You go back to the layout.
they gang up by 10. That they can move these chairs around, and you have small cocktail tables, which is perfect for a drink or that coffee or maybe a little snack, which is great. Some smaller groupings that could be moved around and not quite so linear, I guess. And
Okay.
I know there's a big space that's empty. It's not showing up real well on this show because we've got the pillars there.
You also have
a
booths.
coffee table.
You also have booths right here. And when I grandfathered this, you don't see the booth here.
Right, no, I know they're there.
Yeah. So you have the booth. That's we need to reupholster it, by the way. We need to, give it a little bit of a better look, right? This seating can actually be turned that way. And these are not rectangular anymore because I changed them to more oval, right? All this, none of the things that I selected for lobby has any sharp edges. There are no 90 degrees. Everything is going to be oval or curvy. And then these areas are going to be actually easily movable and changeable. Because what I did is, I'm working on Phoenix Country Club lobby area. We are getting a lot of these semicircles, right?
Right, no, it's very nice.
Yeah, so what we want to do with semicircles is that when you guys have an event, let's say Cinco de Mayo, your people are going to come and we want to change this event and we want to make sure that there's a whole different setting happening, this will give you at least that opportunity. You're going to be able to change the floor plan. The moment I give you a little bit of this, visually it's going to be so crowded, I can promise you. You need to start getting them a little bit more unified, a little bit more togetherness, because right now what you have is already this little tiny, little 2 of us sit together, 2 of us sit here, and then it's craziness all of a sudden. With this, we are bringing some sort of a formality. At least, imagine yourself, you're sitting on these 2 lapis chairs with your friend, and you have other 2 friends right across you. You have your coffees, you have your cards, you have, tarot cards. I hope one of you read. I would love that. And then you are talking about it. So it's a lot more formal, a lot more conversational, a lot more uplifted, a little bit more of a kind of a high-end hotel lobby resort feeling, rather than too many small things going around. Because you're going to enter from here, and then there's this beautiful semicircular ones that are kind of hugging you, welcoming you visually. But then we want to split. I want to sit in these 4 chairs. I want to sit in these 4 chairs. Or, you know what? I have 6 people. I have my kids. I have everybody. Let's sit across from each other and see each other. That's more of a living room idea. And then if you want to be alone and just take care of coffee or telephone business, you can actually do that.
Okay. I'm in disagreement, but we'll agree to disagree. I think that having the coffee tables in addition to the cocktails versus gathering those together is an extra expense maybe that we don't need for the coffee tables, and it makes it more limiting as far as moving things around. Just be something to think about.
Okay.
Let's see. The other question I have is on the bar area itself. With the 8 tops, during happy hour, on occasion, we have people that want to sit together like that. So, you know, it's good to have that ability to be able to do that. Many times, though, there's 2 people sitting at the high top. And I'm not going to go sit with 2 other people that are already at a table. It's just me, not everybody, just me. So I'm a little concerned about total loss of seating unless it is a happy hour moment. However, I also think it's good to make this how you've done the different colors and things like that to make this a space, because right now, as you know, it is just an extension of the dining area and looks that way. So one idea, and I don't know if you've looked at this or not yet, is to do, instead of the 8 tops, do all the tables in the bar area at a counter height. Because counter height for a lot of our members is easier to get in and out of. I don't even know if they're available. It's easier to get in and out of. It sets it apart from the restaurant. It has a little bit more of a club feel. I don't know if that's something you even...
That's a great idea. The only thing is that I may need an extra budget because of the legs. I may need an extra budget to do that. And remember, we are repurposing the bases in here, right? I would love to have them higher. And you're absolutely right. So this is going to define the area, and I love it. I love what you're saying. It's just that if I want to repurpose the pedestals, they are not counter height. So I need to purchase more. And if I purchase more, then it's going to be, yes, money, yes.
On that question, and I'm not looking to blow a budget, but just given the nature of our club and our membership and the space you have to work with, how much more would you have liked for us to have spent to get things the way you...
Oh, I like this question.
Well,
okay,
no, I'm not
you
saying-
want me to
it's
tell
not-
you how
it's
much
not-
money I
it's
have?
not no, it's not a blank check question. It's a question of you've had to make compromises.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And given the direction you were given and the compromises you made, just for information purposes, about how much more would you have liked us to invest?
Sure. First of all, we did not make much compromise because of me acting like a thug and threatening my vendors, right? So we did get mid to high quality furniture to a lower end price. When Darren told me, this is your money, make it fit, make it work, and make it quality, I really, really worked on this to make sure that the only thing that you may want to have, if what Sherry wants, and I like the idea, you're going to be thinking about $400 per stool, like the base for each table. So we can have the counter height. But then we need to change the chairs, and we are going to probably be matching to this. And I know the numbers by heart. Per chair, these are about $460. If I were to go to bar stools, they're... Everything is getting out of... okay. And then these are going to be $500. So about $60 per chair, and then $400 per pedestal. So let's do that. 60 plus 400, so about, let's say 450 per, right? So how many times we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 900, 900, 900, 900. So 3,600, is my math correct?
in the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot of money. So I would just, she thinks it's a great idea. She thinks it's a great idea. I don't know shit from Shinola. But the question I would have is, should we consider spending a little bit more money on that issue? Would be the question I have. And I apologize for my language.
I know, I broke it.
Well, I think if we're spending, you know, anything less than $10,000 to make the project that much better, I think it's well worth the spend.
And my thought was not to do the 2 8-tops in the back, but to have that entire bar area. We've already got the taller bar stools in the back, and to have all of those at the counter height. I'm a little concerned about the cross bracing in the 8-tops. I'm worried, one, like I talked about, about how many people will sit together. And also the cross bracing being wood, that's exactly where my feet are going. So, and it's a walnut wood, about being scratched up in the maintenance on that. And if we did the whole floor, broke those tables up, 2, 4, 6, 8, I don't know, 10 to 12, whatever it is, we'd get the same number of seats, but all at the counter height from a bar standpoint. It's a thought.
Just real quick. Are you just saying to break the 2 tabletops, the 2 8-tops into 4?
Whatever fits, 3 or 4.
And
but
then do
all the
countertop,
other
right?
tables as well, everything at counter height. So not
Okay.
high bar height, not table height, but
So we're
counter
looking at
height.
12 tables in the bar area at counter height, is what you're asking.
11
Yes,
to 12.
it is. It is
whatever,
gonna be 12.
whatever fits.
Also, it's going to be 12.
I think there was discussion to try to break up that kind of crowding that happens at the bar when there's too many people. And so I think that was originally the idea between this kind of separation table that's a bit different height to kind of break apart the lounge area of the bar side and the like more bar counter side.
Okay, I'm confused, Sherry, when you say countertop. Because I've got friends, unlike me, that have short legs, and they only want to sit at a regular table.
There you go.
Okay, so are you saying that in the bar you would put everything up?
You're going to have a place for your feet.
Sorry?
You would have a place to put your feet.
No, I don't care. They refuse to sit at those top tables and put their feet on the chairs. Personally, I love that. But you've got people that will not like that. We can't have one height.
I have one question for all the ladies that play mahjong in the lobby. They need round tabletops. So the 2 you have up there, could those be made into a 40-inch round tabletop with the chairs around them so that we don't totally exclude those ladies from playing there?
So let me address that. When we started this design process, Larry, one of the objectives was to kind of redesign that lobby area and not make it suitable for game playing, right? And I've already had several conversations with a number of those people that play, and I've told them that, look, Liz is going to make arrangements to find some open meeting room spaces. We'll have some open drop-in times, and they're just going to have to spend a little bit more time and effort to find a location. But we just don't think that belongs at the front entrance to the clubhouse.
My brother described it as the assisted living entry.
Okay, I wasn't going to say that.
Also, Sherry, to your question, I want to follow up on this one in the bar area. We just need to make sure that we know the bottom of this tables are carpet. When you have carpet, moving a bar stool is not as easy as your chairs. So it may be very difficult on your wrist, on your, it may not be very useful, may look good, But, so one thing to think about, because we already have a purchase order and then we are already placing carpet over there.
Okay. That's a good point. I had not thought of that. So-
Sherry, yeah, when we look at the survey we took of the community for what they preferred for table seating in the restaurant, we had 93% preferred standard dining height. So I don't know if there's that much of a push for countertop height seating.
Unfortunately, counter height wasn't listed, and also there was no definition in the survey. It stated only for the restaurant.
Bar height
area.
or high top seating. So we didn't specify just bar height. But I know that didn't say explicitly countertop seating, but that's also not usually a restaurant term in terms of, a seating height.
Yeah.
It's usually either bar or standard.
Yeah, and the survey said specifically only for the dining room area. It later came out and was changed, but many had already answered.
The question is, which chair height do you prefer for table seating at MVBG, which the entire restaurant is considered MVBG?
It said specifically dining. So, but
Well, regardless
doesn't matter.
of the survey and the questions, that's my thought. I think that kind of clarifies, right? It's, yeah.
I'm going to call for questions from the members. Please come down to a microphone, or we'll run one up if we need to. We have a runner.
Testing.
while they're doing that, I have one other question. The booths along the window wall, if you look at any of our photos or anything, that's the wall that gets photographed because it goes out to our beautiful event lawn. Thank you, Bill and Larry, who've been working hard on that lawn and all that event area to really make it beautiful, which they've done a fabulous job. And maybe it's because I'm short, but an entire bank of pretty solid-looking booths with solid-looking legs prevents me from seeing out. Yes, I can see the higher mountains and the tops of the trees, but you lose that open walkout feeling.
Yep, that's a good question. Your booth back, which is another thing that I forgot to talk about, because when I'm putting booths along the windows in all of my designs, I make sure that the height of the back is enough that even a 5 feet person stands up, they can still see outside. So the backs of that great point, thank you. Were you a designer before? I mean, I love the questions. You were a designer, I love it, okay. So it's 40 inch high. So I am not gonna go low 36 or 30s because when you lean back, you know what happens, you touch your head to the next door neighbor, right? We don't wanna do that, but we don't wanna also visually blocking back either. So these are all thought when I was doing the design. And the leg part from the outside is going to be decaled, so we're not gonna be seeing anybody's leg, from outside. And the natural light is something that I really value, and I wanted to make sure that this is not going to block it.
Okay, Paula, I think you have a question.
Paula, do I need to announce? And I'm Paula Arnold, 44A. Okay. How much do the dining room chairs weigh? Actually, I have a lot of questions. How much do those chairs weigh?
Hold on, I'll try to remember it. I believe it was 23. No, this is too much. I can get back to you on that one. Because it's a wood dining chair.
Are they going to weigh more than what the chairs are now?
No. That's the thing, yes.
Perfect.
Because you had one presentation before, some designer actually gave you an option. It was metal. I would hate that, sliding it from the carpet on a metal. One was very heavy, and then there was another one that was presented, which was like a bamboo legs, which I don't know why they presented it, because you cannot use that in a commercial setting. It's gonna crack and everything, and it's too light, it's going to tilt. I think tilt question is one of the things that we should be worried about. So these are your regular, solid, beechwood, regular weight chairs. So it's not gonna be heavy.
And will they have nylon, what do you call that, on the bottom? Not a caster, but...
The insides that are underneath.
So that it slides easily?
Yeah, you can. I mean, you guys can add it up later on. Oh, you mean the casters?
No, not a caster. I'm saying...
gliding pads.
Yes.
Yeah, gliding pads can be added to pretty much any chair. I can ask the vendor to add it from the factory. and then I can.
So what is
make
that,
it nice.
another 40 cents a chair?
Now we are down
Or
to cents.
included?
No, and I can actually tell them and say, hey, can you guys edit?
Okay,
As they,
Chuck had a question. We're gonna take one question at a time. Chuck, you had a question?
Yeah.
where's Chuck?
I've been to Mountain View. I've been to Mountain View several times, and we've gone in there with different units and the villas. And we got in there, they pulled tables together so they could seat 10 and 12 people. Are they still going to be able to do that?
When they pull table together, are they going to be?
In the Mountain View restaurant, are they still going to be able to pull tables together
of
to
course.
seat 10 and 12 people?
Of course, because we are using your base still. We are still using your old bases.
We're actually gaining an 11 top table that's in the main dining room, and then yeah, we can still pull tables together.
So which tables will they pull together to get 12 people?
There's those two rounds at the very bottom of the floor plan of the main dining room.
So
Those
you
are
could-
both 11 top tables.
So you're going to connect the squares to the rounds?
No, but I'm just saying that those two are 11 top tables, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 top tables.
Yeah, but there's a booth separating the two.
But he can move them around.
Chuck, that's their problem. Their problem is to take care of it.
Yeah.
Take
They'll
care.
take care of it, or they'll put you in the east room.
So movability, I think you're talking about the floor plan and the flexibility of the floor plan, correct? To be able to fit this many people, I think I understand the question right. You can. This floor plan, I put it in a way that the operation can easily move things around and put 2 tops, 4 tops together and then push things slightly further. I can seriously, right now, you are fitting 128 people, right? I can fit 175 people here too if I want to, but I didn't.
Okay, so there will be seating for 10 or 12 people?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The second question, is the east room considered a dining room or a meeting room?
It's a private dining space.
So it's going to have the chairs that are in the dining room.
It'll have the copper bases and the same dining room chairs.
Will they be stackable?
No.
So if we have a meeting there where we're currently, several times a year or a few times a year, we have horseshoe type tables where we have meetings where we have 20, 30 people in there. Is that still going to be doable?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, Pat, you had a question. Then I'll come back to Sherry, and then let's give someone else a chance.
So, first of all, an excellent presentation.
Thank you.
And I'm excited because it's really going to change. It's going to be a shock because we've been looking at this heavy southwest forever. And I don't like the tabletop height, raising them, because that will eliminate many of our members who might want to sit there and watch a sports game because they are not able to climb up on chairs safely and get down safely. It'll just be a wreck. But I love everything that you've done. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm glad.
Sherry, did you have one more question while the next person is walking up?
I was just going to say, you said that the booths were, a 5-foot person could see over them when they, stood up. I'm talking about sitting in the restaurant and seeing I will no longer be able to look outside. That's the concern, and I'm not the only 5-foot person.
No, you're absolutely right. If I were to put tables over there, not the booths, you were still gonna have that blockage. It's because the height.
It's more open, I guess.
It's more open. Yes, you're right. But when it comes to efficiency of using this place and then making it a little bit more, giving it a little bit more variety, making it a little bit more friendly, that is the solution I came up with. Because when I saw your first floor plan, when they were given to me, this was the floor plan. Like this is no. There were 2 other designers worked on that floor plan. I did not like those, and the best solution for this floor plan was to put booths there. And even worse than that, they put 72 inches booths before. I measured them. 72 inch is a queen bed. You know what I mean? Do you know how big that is? There is no integrity. Again, when I was saying, I thought about the technicals a lot about this project. 72 inches in the long run, you're going to disintegrate all this foam, and it's not going to have an integrity because it's too long. So I lowered them down to 60 inches. 60 works, Why? I actually turned a double-decker bus into a high-end restaurant in New York. So it's a touring restaurant. Even with 42 inches boots, I was able to fit 4 people comfortably from each other. That's why I was saying you can fit 6, because there were people not even that thin. Trust me, I had 8 feet right across the bus, and I needed to give 20 inches of right way, hallway. I only had 6 feet left, and I was able to fit 3 on the row. So it's bigger than you think.
I have a question over
Yes. Hi.
Hi, Eric Zobo, 42, 137. In the bar area, I personally, if I go to a restaurant and they offer high-top seating, I refuse it. I want my feet on the floor. And I don't know, there's a lot of ladies who wear heels. I don't know how they like climbing into those kind of chairs. I noticed in the bar, there's no seats along the bar face.
Oh, there is actually. It's not showing because it's not my part.
Oh, okay. Well, if there's bar seating there, I would recommend removing those bar stools that are in the 2 8-tops and make it regular chairs.
Well, the 8 tops, I understand. And again, I was just telling Sherry that may not be a good idea to put high tops in here for variety of seating. I always prefer the variety of seating because some people want this, some people want it. You guys never had an 8-seater in this bar. Design is also positively manipulating people's mind, right? Design is just only big, pretty colors and nice textures. Once we have this type of a setup, the things are going to change, and people may actually, that's the reason that it was called community, right? Like if you want to create some sort of a community feeling, slowly and slowly, it's going to come to some sort of a teaching. In a way, that's what I think, and I was very successful in many of my restaurant designs that people use that. And the good news is, those tops, other than the other ones, they are actually live edge tables. I was able to get live edge tables for those, and they look beautiful.
Chuck, did you have another
Chuck.
question? You're holding the
Who's
mic.
Chuck?
Do you have another question?
Yeah, just one quick one. I've heard the words optimum, enticing more people to come, make it a better experience for people. Does anybody, either you or Darren, have an idea of how many additional covers that you're going to see coming into the restaurant? Because this is going to be about $200 per person, per household, that's going to be spending on this. And I'm just wondering if we see any increase in covers.
I don't think you can correlate this to increase in covers. I can't think of any econometric model that I put together with that.
Yeah, I want to, yeah, I mean, we have to maintain all of our assets, and this is in the reserve study, and we went through the last 2 months approving that, and I have total faith that we're getting value here since this fine lady has beat down the vendors. So yeah, I don't think costing this out per household is, yeah.
Okay, Duff, your turn.
Yeah, I just want to add my 2 cents in on high tops. I would absolutely oppose trying to put high tops exclusively. Choice. Different people are going to want different things. And I can tell you that if I will refuse to sit in a high top for 15 minutes.
I think they've already put that one to bed, Duff. Because of the carpet, we're going to have some shorter tables. I have a question over here.
Yeah, we heard you, Duff.
Hi, I actually have 3 questions, but yes, but I'll make it quick. I agree with everybody about the high tops. I don't think that they would be used as you envisioned them, because if I come in with a friend and I see 4 people sitting at that, it would feel awkward to sit with them. And so anyways, I think maybe that might be, I would rather see regular tables because we never seem to have enough room in the bar. The other thing is I've lived here for 17 years now, and originally the bar stools had arms on them, and they were very awkward. I mean, it was awkward to move them, awkward to get in them. I think a bar stool shouldn't have arms. It's just much more flexible without them. And the other thing, You showed the dining room chairs as a blue on the back and a brown on the seat. That seems very, I don't know. When I've seen that before, when the back is different than the seating, it blends kind of seamlessly. And that seems like too big of a change, color change, between the back of the seat and the seat itself. So I'd like to see a sample of that, if you could, like, to see if it blends well enough.
Have right here. And those are not brown, by the way. That's cream. And then I want you to look at it with the tonation of the carpet. This is the seat. This is the back. So I just picked up enough tones. It's kind of a creamish light color for the seat. And then you're going to have that as a boot selection, the boot fabric, like vinyl.
Wait a minute. Now, this is going to be the dining room seat?
Back.
The back. Okay, and what's going to be the seat then?
The cream one, yeah.
I would think it would go better in reverse.
It's not low maintenance. You're going to have a high maintenance. With the fabric on the seat, it's going to be ruined faster. If you drop something, it's not going to be easy to clean. I have done it before, trust me. People now were happy.
I think it's shockingly different, though. But
Can I go to the next question?
sure.
It's over here. Oh, I got it. Okay. First of all, thanks for all your sleepless nights. You did a great job.
Thank you.
If they can go back to the slide where you show what the chairs look like in the dining room, so I could talk to you about that. Those.
These?
Yeah. Yes. Oh,
I mean,
there, right
same
there.
chairs, different fabrics.
Yeah.
Okay.
They look like the back is more at an angle further back. Is this angle further back than what we already have?
What you have is the old style of chairs, right? So where people did not think about the ergonomy of the body. So you're not gonna be sitting down and trying to eat a lasagna like that. It's not like that.
Okay.
It has enough. That's why I was talking about when you're studying design, you have these angles of the ergonomic chair. This is about a 70 degree angle.
Okay.
Actually more like 80, close to 90, right? When you're sitting on this long enough, you're actually not so comfortable. Oh, wow, these chairs are not comfortable either. Anyways, so this kind of hits your upper back. So when I was designing chairs, I make sure that you have a lumbar support because of the angle of the chair, not because of the closed back of the chair. There's a big misconception on chair design. When you have a closed back, it's going to support you in the back. No, it's a lie. It's not going to support you. It's actually not even useful operationally because you cannot clean it. That's another part. But in the chair, when you have a 60-degree angle, those are not 60-degree. None of your chairs are 60-degree, actually. But when you are sitting, I can assure you, you're not going to sit like that. And I hate that when it happens.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
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 You're going to be basically, your body is going to have your natural seating where you can get up easily and you can eat.
Okay.
To the arms onto the bar, I just want to answer that question as well. You need to have enough arms. I cannot emphasize this enough. Enough arms. Not too much, not none. Because it's also comfort, safety as well. We just talked about the safety of the bar.
Yeah.
I want people to hold on to something if they feel like falling.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. Yeah, but yeah, to your question, yes, those
Thank you.
angles are you're not gonna be like informal all of a sudden in a great date.
Alan, if I lovely lobby area, can I get a drink delivered there?
Yeah, we'll still have service.
So you're having table service in that lovely lobby area?
Okay, Sherry, you have one question more? Maybe pick your favorite.
One question I noticed, all the fabrics in the lobby are all well, according to the screen, which I know isn't always correct, shades of gray, beige, light. How will that be from a maintenance standpoint?
And so shade of what?
Kind of whitish or gray, cream, like.
Those are very light grayish.
Okay,
That's in small scales. Like for example, Aiden chair, the one that's right next to the fireplace, you're gonna have a vinyl back because when people grab it, I wanna make sure that the maintenance is easy. All the fabrics are 100,000 and up Weisenberg double rub, right? And then they are easily cleanable because they're mostly polyester. I love materials, right? I studied materials for so long. I want to make sure that it's easily cleanable. We can switch things around, so that was one of the things. Let me just show you this. No, those are actually bar chairs. I want you to, isn't it beautiful? I love this vinyl. I want you to pick though, which color would you like? I would prefer this, but it could be this too. In the lobby area, I want this semicircle boots to be warm enough, right? These are this. And then you're going to have the sofa in this, which is a very nice, material on that. Now, Aiden chairs, the ones right next to the fireplace, inside seat and the back of the seat is this. Exterior is this. I can turn this around if you want. I can have the seat in the front this, back this. I was just afraid that I'm gonna end up having office-looking chairs with too much vinyl. Right, so I wanna have warm up this area, and here's another question for you. This is the bar, this is the seat of the bar, and this is the back of the bar. It's a small sample, they couldn't bring the samples fast enough, but they send me this to show the color. This is also an option. Please let me know if you would, because this is very geometrical, where you have very moving, flowing, natural look. This, right? Okay, perfect. So because that's what I wanted to do. Also, another question for you before I take off. These are tabletops that I can get for you for this bar area only. I have other tabletop colors which are going to be for your, thank you so much. The other tabletops are going to be this color, which is a cool walnut. In this area, because I do believe the tonation works better, I can order it especially for this area in this. Now the material, who was asking me the durability? Bread, right? Or was you? The strength of the material is this. These are actually much better than your regular wood tables. And, okay. I was just trying, I'm so excited about my stuff. Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me? Okay. Susie Strauss. I noticed in the meeting rooms you have 36-inch tables. What are the size of the tables that are there now?
I think we have 42.
Okay, so the 36 ones are way too small for trivia, for Mexican train, for Mahjong. We play Mahjong, and someone made the mistake of doing 36-inch tables in the preserve. And we can't, everybody's things are falling on the floor. It's very, very, they're not game table size. So I'm wondering if you have 42-inch tables, can you take those 42-inch tables and bring them to us at the preserve? Because we need 42-inch tables. The 36-inch do not work. And if you have games here in your meeting rooms, your 36-inch tables are not going to work.
We're going to be moving 42-inch tables from the restaurant into the activity room. So those tables will all be 42 inches, right? The saguaro and what's the other one? And the cactus. So they'll have 42-inch tables. The restaurant tables will be 36, right? So the meeting rooms, the meeting and activity rooms will be 42. We'll have some other 42s available. We haven't come up with a plan yet for addressing the 36 inches at preserves. That's not part of this discussion today.
That's right, but if you're getting rid of 42-inch tables somewhere, we would like for you to...
That's on our radar, for sure.
Put them up in the preserve, because we really...
Yeah.
Inch. Thank you.
Susie, I promise if they have bigger tables, I'll get it for you. I know you told me in the beginning. I steal tabletops for you.
Paula, did you have one more question just burning that hasn't been answered yet?
It's just mostly the issue that the 42-inch tables are what were working and why they got replaced. The bases are beautiful, but the tabletops are just not big enough in the preserve.
So they'll address the preserve on another topic, and they will have some extra tables to work there.
Yeah.
So the reason 36 inches were purchased up at Preserve is because in the activity rooms at Mountain View, all those tables were 36 inches. So we thought that that was the standard, but there are 36-inch tables that are in there now. So.
And I guess I don't understand why the tables in the preserve were changed out anyhow. Was that on anybody's radar?
It was part of our reserve plan to take a look at the other furniture up there. Some of it needed to be replaced, so it was on the schedule to be replaced. Chairs are on the way. The chairs should be here by the end of November.
And are they going to be the same chairs that are in the first meeting room?
No.
To be the same as in the second meeting room?
No, they will match though. They will match.
You're going to
So
have new
where-
chairs in both meeting rooms.
So where did the chairs come from in one meeting room but not the other meeting room?
Yeah. They are mesquite chairs.
Okay, all right, thank you.
We're going to talk about repurposing some furniture throughout, so let's get on with this. I'm asking for a motion.
I would like to make a motion. Oh, you would like to say something?
While you're going to the slide, the one thing that I haven't seen, and I don't know if it's just down the road, is any furniture in the hallway or workstations for the staff, which before they said they'd needed, or POS stations, or is any of that going to be done? Okay, that's what I was wondering.
I'm hoping that it's going to be. Brad wanted to give me more money. Hopefully he's gonna, so we can change it.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion that this board approve the furnishings proposal from Real Food and Guli in the amount of $318,000 with a $10,000 buffer, and accelerate the 2027 funding for meeting room furniture in the amount of $41,128 and fund remaining $20,000 from the reserve fund balance.
I would second that with the understanding that the $10,000 buffer is to address the type of thing that the expert and Darren and even Sherry maybe think makes sense. Okay?
All right, thank you so much. Thank you.
I have a motion and a second. I think we've had all the discussion. Matt, you didn't get to say anything in the discussion.
Well, I do have,
Do you like the color?
yeah, no, now I have something to say.
Okay.
3 years ago, 3 members of this board sat through a 3-hour meeting from hell on this project. It was so uninformative, it made my eyes spin in the back of my head. Ma'am, I want to congratulate you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Not only do I understand your logic train, but I learned more about furniture today than I think I could have ever hoped to have learned. You were spectacular in your presentation. Darren, my congratulations to the team. Well done.
It only took 2
Thank you
hours.
so much. Thank you. Thanks a
All
lot.
in favor? Any opposed? We had all our conversation already. So it looks like it passed.
Perfect. Thank you so, so much. Thank you for your trust in me. And if there is any problems, anything like that, please let me know in the future. I'll handle it.